See, I knew making clones of Zio and paying him just the same amount of money was a mistake. Icy Hot Guy, it's me, John Toei. Finally found you after you not only made Kamen Rider Ortega, but the new live and evil suits as well. Do you know just how much all of that cost me? I don't know, like $3 in repaints. No, it was like 4 new coats of paint. So add that up. That's like $45. But you're a multi-million-dollar company. That's like pennies to you. Oh, you should know by now just what the deal is. It's time to duel! I summon Wrestler G in reused assets mode. You know what? Screw it. Burning Nero! Yeah, no. Break those legs, G. No. Not directly. That's why no one messes with Toei. I'm making bank off these cards. Nintendo Soji! I happen to stand at the peak of games. Now I see your Wrestler G, and I raise you non-specific action figure in retrograde. Non-specific. That's not even in my card rotations! Money!
Non-specific. Non-specific. No.
Alright, non-specific action figure, end this cheapskate. You want to talk? How about Nintendo Kemi cards? We'll split the margin! 80% stake? 50%? 90? You say. Fine!
No.
Deal! It's like grandfather said, mo money, mo problems. So, get yourself a gun. Did one of my clones die? Was it Diego? Sanchez? Icy Hot! Well, just making me stronger. Till there's only one left. We're back yet again with more Gotchard on our plate. This time, as opposed to 2 monsters in 1 week, we get 2 heroes for the price of 1. So, let's first take a look and see what happens on this week's Kamen Rider Gotchard. After last week's moldy chicken, Rene stopped by the restaurant to put in a good word about Hotaro to his mom. But Hotaro knows that she's actually been the one fixing his mistakes. While he's thinking about things, we also get a flashback to them getting the answers on what exactly those sisters want with the Gotcha driver. Darkness. Pitch black nothingness in the world. And that's really not a whole lot to go on. That's like, I don't get why that's still a motivating factor for a lot of these shows when it comes to villains. They just keep making them so one-dimensional if that's the case. But let's go ahead and check in on the source of that door opening themselves. Because the previous count of amalgams hasn't been enough. They gotta make more. But we also find out that they themselves are obeying orders from somebody higher up. And that person is Gelion. So, back on the rotation, we got Clotho, who finds a back-breaking, really tall guy just walking the streets of Japan during a specific time at night. Now on to math lessons, as Hotaro points out that Kemi combos equal 10. Genius! While background classmates show on up with Tsuruhara pointing out that both Hotaro and Rine's surnames have the numbers 1 and 9 in them too. But enough about that, Ringo's got game. Because using the 1 Comanches card, she was able to catch 6 Kemis. What's Hotaro's count so far? Not counting Hopper and Steamliner? Like 3. Useless. So he wants the deets on how to catch those Kemis while putting a pep in Sabimaru's step. See, Ringei's got Kemidar, and unlike regular Kemi detection, this one's intuition, going straight to a wrestling gym where they are met by Batman. Wrong man, wrong bat. But it's just a misunderstanding, because he thought that they were Yakuza out to get the land from under the gym, but they just want that Kemi. When the real Yakuza show on up, but in comes high-flying action figure, beating more ass than Alabama Man. I wonder who would win. Don't do this to yourself, man. Did you not see the opening bit? People still watch the opening bits? I thought they skipped straight to rating time. You're right. We talking about Jeremy's mom yet? Hey, that's next review. Great, because I feel mid just being in a Gotchard review. Where were we at? Gun. Because the Yakuza got some, so Hotaru uses some new Kemi cards and becomes Gun. That shoots butterflies and rainbows. Kid show, y'all. It's a kid show. Remember that. But with Yakuza out, Backbreaker shows on up with new fistful of face. So Hotaru transforms, and it's here that we see that Ringei and Sabimaru didn't even know that he was a Kamen Rider. Oh well. What's next though? My God! Can we get a real hero up in here? Okay. It's enough for Punch and Kong to dip on out and get everyone against Banner's way of handling the Kemis. How's Hotaro's back? Oh, wait, he's fine. What sorcery is this?
And
this is me treating back pain with icy hot smart relief.
Smart relief.
Not a sponsor. Where are we at? Oh yeah. About that guy breaking the back of an up-and-comer and the old guy knowing how to overcome that backbreak move. Though he wishes he could help himself, but he's just too old. But that's when the power of Wrestler G resonates with him, transforming him into almost exposed suit actor, where he proceeds to break Hotaru's back so many times, even Rine's attitude is changing. Oh yeah, this is to teach him how to dodge that back break. Did it work? Alright guys, I guess you know what time it is, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rumble! Bang with the flips, but Gotchard's got kicks, knocking him back and beating that fist face. Ooh, counter, ricochet. But here comes the signature move and rejected. Oh, they tag teaming now. They doing it? They doing it. Double lariats. Now, finish him. Who needs Galaxy Blade? Who needs Galaxy Blade? So, with all the memory wiping back on hand, even old guys gotta deal with it. But he's fine with it. Wrestling G ain't though. But the feeling of having his dream return just can't be taken away. With this episode of Gotchard, we get the debut of Ant Wrestler. So with that, let's talk forms. So far, this is actually my favorite of the Gotchard forms shown, but it's just a little too top-loaded. There's literally nothing on the lower half. I would have at least taken the wrestling briefs and just incorporated them, and then maybe just toss in a couple more ants. There we go. But seriously, this is an A-rank suit on the upper half, but the lower half is what drags this down. There is a good incorporation of the ants here, but it doesn't really scream wrestler to me. Rating time! See, this is what people skip to. This episode was actually a very fun time. It had comedic moments, some outlandish stuff with doll physics, but it brought the emotion in at the end. And surprisingly, it wasn't even by Hotaru and crew, but Mr. Asahi himself. For that, this episode is getting the Agito. Hey! Really, in terms of substance, this episode just had a lot of heart. And it's a good growth episode for Hotaru. Also, what the hell is that kid's back made out of? Ain't no way he's walking fine after that. They better start next week's episode with him saying something like, "Oh, my back still hurts." We did get some more, finally, with Hotaru's other classmates. But there still wasn't much. Outside of the fact that they didn't even know that he was a Kamen Rider, nor that anyone bothered to tell them, I see a reoccurring bit with Ringe just trying to get money out of Hotaru. And Sabimaru, even though being very low volume, really takes well to being seen in a higher status. We also see that the Chemis can resonate with people not just based off of negative emotions, but emotions that are compatible with their own nature. So much so that they can even share it. And I hope that this is not an attribute that will be forgotten after this episode. And it really gets to the pan with these ingredients. Wait a second. He's crossing over with everything. And once again, some of the best aspects of this episode still are the nuggets of information that we get from the Dark Sisters. They apparently answer to someone named Gillian, who seems to be impatient regarding getting their hands on that driver and severely punishes them if they don't do as he says. So already, we get some of that power creep on that front. But for now, it's just a little bit of nuggets that we can just grasp onto. But it's episode 5, so hey. Quick side note, last week I forgot to mention that there was a scene in which Spanner is looking as Rin and Hotaru leave, where he says something to the effect of, "The wheels of fate have started moving," as a quotation that he was reciting. And the way that it was said was in a little bit of an ominous tone. Then in this week, we get told that Ichinose and Kudo are a Chemi match. And of course, we know from the production side that these two are supposed to be co-main characters. So their fates are obviously tied into each other, but while we know that the sisters are well aware of Rine's lineage, Spanner obviously knows as well. Which, having outside forces just points out the relationship between these two, makes me wonder if Gillian might be a playing all sides kind of person, meaning commanding the sisters while also controlling the Alchemist Academy. Yes, I'm still leaning on that theory. Speaking of Rin though, we have yet again some more character growth from her as we see her attitudes towards Hotaru develop more, with her making a good impression about him to his mom, and then later on seeing his physical and mental growth getting that back blown out. These episodes in these early phases are still all over the map when it comes to my personal rating scale. Some are good, some bad, some mid, and this one was the best one in the bunch. And of course, this is only 5 episodes. I think because they are going very Monster of the Week heavy with these episodes, it falls into the pit of being episodic, giving us almost nothing when it comes to overarching narrative. It's making me think that maybe I should do batch reviews for this series going forward, as every episode just seems pretty self-contained. Alright, time machine works, and I'm in some random guy's house. This isn't right. Time Kabuto, can you at least tell me, when does Gotchard get good? You know what? I'll roll with it. Gotchard though. What's that again? It's Kamen Rider. What's that? What is this? Power Rangers? That definitely is. Oh hey! Hanafuda Chemi cards! What? Wait! You're that guy! I didn't even make these! They're a time paradox! Excuse me, while I go back in time and give these to myself! Gotchard. No, wait, that reminds me. What was under that wrestling gym? Yakuza clearly wanted what was under there. I smell money. Well, while I go rob an old man who just got robbed of his memories, what did you think about this week's Kamen Rider Gotchard? Sound off in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for me. Until next time, bye.